We got everybody staged up. Jake, it's going to take us just a minute. How about we get going with introductions for, I count, 31 Crown Vics ready to go at it tonight here at the Rattler.
31 strong. That's what we've got here tonight in the UARA Crown Vic competition. Starting shotgun on the field. He's going to be in action coming up. We're going to have the 57 machine of Jimmy Frazier. Starting in 30th, you're going to have the 88 of Nathan Harris. And then you're going to have in the number 29th starting position, the number 13 of Zachary Abdulwaled. I hope I got that right. That's
close enough.
That's a mouthful. We got Blake Blackman in the number 11, going to start from the 28th position, and rolling off 27th in the number 47 is going to be Joey Clark.
Starting 26th, the 427 of Justin Gray. 25th starting position goes to the 78 of Nathan Lord. Brandon Harris in the 02 starts 24th. 23rd is where you'll find Dustin Hunt in the 86. Keith Zavrel in the 15 machine starts 22nd. And in the 21st starting position, the 14 of Kyle Martique.
Starting 20th, you're going to have the number 48 of Derek Deese, and then it'll be Kendall Ludecker in the 20 JR starting 19th. Rolling off 18th is going to be Justin Roos. We saw him earlier in modified competition. And Logan Buttram in the 132 is going to start 17th.
16th starting position, a driver that makes his name in Crown Vic racing down in your part of the woods. The 29 is Bobby Mobley. Joey Foote in the 35 will roll off from the 15th position. The double X of Cody Benoit will start 15th. Dean Buttram in the 32 will start from the 13th position. Local driver Daniel Peanut Parker will start in 12th in the number 18 car, and Jessica Colder, the 0, will roll off from 11th.
Starting in the 10th position is going to be Michael Fuller in the 45F. Justin Cruz in the other 45 is going to roll off 9th. Starting in 8th, that's where you're going to find the number 94 of Chris Salter. Different number for him here tonight. He'll start in 8th with Adam Salter in the 6S rolling off from the 7th position. Starting 6th, young driver from the Central Florida area, Sadie Parsons. Keep an eye on her. She's going to start in 6th. And Brian Musgrove in the number 5. He will start 5th.
Up into the front two rows, Tyler Landis in the K29 will start in the 4th position. Chris Rummel, the 3 machine, rolls off from position number 3. And on the front row after the re-roll, which was 2 plus 6, so it equals an 8, was Shelby Prather, a local competitor here at South Alabama Speedway, in the 12. And leading the field to green, I'm going to go with Sean Sinkosov.
I'm going to correct you.
Okay.
Politely.
All right.
Sean Senakosov.
Senakosov. Well, you had.
How bad I do on that? Yeah.
Yeah, you had Abdulwahed, and I'll have Senakosov leading the field to green in the 19 car.
So now that we've gone through the Hooked on Phonics portion of the program, we're ready to roll. Cars are underway, and this is going to be a good one. All right, I'm going to say a word. I'm going to say the word patience.
And I'm going to say they don't have any of it.
Okay, well, patience for all the drivers and all the crews that are going to have to exit the infield later tonight when we're trying to unload all of the race cars that are here. But patience on the racetrack, usually not a word that goes very closely with Crown Vic racing. I've come to love it. When I first saw the idea that, hey, we're going to start running Crown Vics, I was like, are you kidding me? Old taxi cabs, old cop cars, why would we do that? And what we have now is the backbone division, the startup class for a lot of drivers that want to get into full-body stock car racing but don't want to have quite the budget to go late model racing or pro truck or modified or sportsman racing. These Crown Vics, they are everywhere. And here tonight at South Alabama Speedway, the UARA Crown Vic Series makes their debut around this 0.4 of a mile race as we are ready to go green. Working their way down through turns 3 and 4. The lights are out. on the South Alabama Speedway pace car. Sean Senekosoff bringing the field to the Sunbelt Rentals starting zone, and the green flag is out, and we are UARA Crown Vic racing at the Rattler.
31 deep. They head to turn number 1, trying to get them singled out and shuffled into formation. It's going to be Senekosoff getting the advantage on the inside. Prather will move into second. Keep your eye on all those black cars with gold numbers. That's the BMR team, led by the Salter brothers. They win a lot of places as we got some stacked and packed in trouble at the back of the field.
Got one around, but we are going to remain green as everybody able to get back on it and keep going.
It was the 47 of Joey Clark that got turned around over in turn 4.
So Clark's got it going again. How about this battle up at the front of the field? Front 2 are clear, but then it's 2 by 2 by 2 after that for 3 or 4 rows as everybody's jockeying for position early on in this one. I mean, what a race. It's going to be 40 laps is the distance. Just got confirmation from that. So 38 laps remaining. Anything can happen. These cars are going to spread out. You're going to see if we get any bit of a long green flag run, like I'm talking even 6, maybe 7 or 8 laps, you're going to run the risk of hitting lap traffic. And Sean Senekosoff is already starting to reel in that 47 car that went around in that earlier spin.
And then back behind it on your Ultra broadcasting screen, we told you those black cars with gold numbers. You're familiar with them in your neck of the woods, Jake. They call South Alabama Speedway home. That's the BMR team, led by the Salter brothers, Adam and Chris. They also have other teammates. Got caution on the speedway, got an accident down in turn number 3 and 4, but they got teammates, Justin Roos, Justin Cruz, a lot of different Shelby Prather's in that team as well. All over the country that team goes, and they find themselves as the car to beat most places they go in Crown Vic competition.
When they roll through the gate, you see the cars. Not much to them. No sponsors on the side of the car. Plain black car, gold numbers, nothing to it. But when they're out here on track, they pack a punch, and they mean business. Whether it's here at South Alabama, whether it's over at Five Flags, racing action at Mobile, they even gone up and won some races at Cordele in the past as well.
A couple of months ago, maybe a couple closer to a year or so ago, they traveled up to West Virginia on the dirt track and won a race up there in the Crown Vic competition. The Salter boys will tell you they'll go anywhere because they think that their cars are better than everybody else's. They think they can outdrive everybody. They're a little bit brash. They're a little bit, for lack of a better term, cocky at times, but they back it up on the racetrack a lot.
Yeah, I would say so. They kind of let their finishes. They speak on business and they stand on business, and they have a great reputation everywhere they go of being the cars that you're going to have to beat. But with this field here today, and with this kind of touring aspect of it with UARA, you're going to get some drivers from the Central Florida area who they think that this is their opportunity to try to come up here and kind of tango with the Salter boys up here and see if they can't try to challenge them. You saw Cody Benoit earlier this season got the win in the inaugural UARA Crown Vic race at Citrus County Speedway. Since then, been able to go to victory lane. He's gotten a win at the Freedom Factory previously as well, gotten wins at Auburndale in their local competition as well. And there are several drivers that think they can hang with the Salters, and they think that they can hang with those team cars. We're going to find out here tonight if it's all talk or if they can back it up.
Saw just a moment ago that would have been the 88 of Nathan Harris and the 13 of Zachary Abdelwahed. I'm getting better at it. He's a regular competitor down at Five Flags Speedway. Maybe I need to hop on the horn to my friend Robbie Harvey or Bill Roth and get proper pronunciation. But we're just two good old boys up here trying to do the best we can. So unfortunately, not the start that Abdelwahed was wanting. Back out front, it's Senekosoff, Prather, Musgrove, Salter, and Salter. You see them right there, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. All the BMR boys right there nipping at the heels of Senekosoff.
And you got some of my guys and gals from the Central Florida area right behind them, and Chris Rummel. frequent competitor at Citrus County Speedway as well as Auburndale Speedway. Tyler Landis, a regular at Auburndale. You also got Sadie Parsons. She's a young lady to certainly keep an eye on as she's moved up into the Crown Vic division. She raced previously in Bandoleros, a former track champion at Auburndale Speedway, and they have a rookie Crown Vic division down at Auburndale Speedway.
Okay, I'm tracking.
And if you go and you run in that division, if you run well enough and you get some wins, they graduate you and they move you up into the we'll call the big boys and the big girls, and that's exactly what Sadie did very, very quickly. And you see her taking on this field here tonight as we're ready to go back to green with 4 laps complete and 36 to go.
Still a long, long way to go in our Crown Vic feature this evening. Sean Sinakosov on the bottom of the racetrack in that silver 19 machine, going to try to keep Prather pressed to the outside. It's going to be Musgrove, the team car. He's going to go side by side with his teammate as Sinakosov tries to drive off into the Alabama night.
Man, you're going to see a lot of 3 wide on a lot of these restarts as everybody looks to try to snag as many positions as they can while everybody starts to kind of settle into a little bit of a rhythm. I don't think that'll be the only time we say 3 wide throughout the rest of the night.
Shuffle them up for the second position. Chris Salter, the leader, I guess you would say, of the BMR guys. He goes to the inside in a brand new car they just bought from somebody a couple of weeks ago. Notice it doesn't have the gold number on the side of it, but they've tweaked on it. They've made it fast, and he's running second.
I told him down, I saw him as he was signing in at the UARA trailer earlier, and he was telling me 94, 94. I said, you got me brainwashed here these last couple of years of what number to look for. Now you're going to throw a wrench in it. Now I got to remember the 94. Well, we're remembering him now because he's out here at the front of the field and starting to reel in the 19 of Sean Senekosov as we get a little bit further and further into this one. Car going around in turns 3 and 4. Down on the inside, may have made a little bit of contact as the rest of the field kind of barrels in there. Trying to let everybody know that there's a car down there on the inside. I had a couple of cars that kind of had to take a little bit of evasive maneuvers down there on the bottom to avoid. We're under yellow once again after a 3-lap run.
Black car down there with orange numbers. Maybe the 15 of Alan Harvell down on the inside of turn number 3. Kind of hard to see. And he's going to be able to get that car fired up. One thing that's a good thing here, no rain here this week at South Alabama Speedway, because if we were, Harvell would be in a tough predicament right there against the inside wall with the grass.
Yeah, it'd get a little muddy down there. We saw when we raced at the Hyatt Memorial, unfortunately we had a rain out on Friday night, and it was just kind of one of those annoying steady rains, just kind of drags on, and then,
just enough to eliminate race cars.
So they're like, yeah, let's go ahead, let's pack it in for the night. And as soon as everybody had kind of loaded up and headed to the local watering hole, it just absolutely dumped. And so when we showed up the next day, we were like, guys, you might want to be a little careful if you kind of dip the tires and dip the nose down there on the inside of turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 down there at that Central Florida bull ring known as Auburndale Speedway, where we're going to have UARA sportsman racing throughout the season there. I believe we're going to have, if I'm not mistaken, I believe we got 4 races there throughout the year. And we'll be back once again. That's where we started the UARA National Tour for the super late models with the Ken Hyatt Memorial 142 that Stephen Nassy won. We'll be back there later again for the second running of the Billy Joe Ingram Memorial 154. That was won by Nick Neary last year. So looking forward to being back there a little bit later on. Be sure to check out that UARA schedule. We got return to Citrus County Speedway coming up next month. And I'm excited for some home games at the Freedom Factory throughout the year with UARA Sportsmen. And the Big League Tune-Up was moved this year from May to October, kind of a feel of a tune-up there where we'll have about a month prior to the Big League Memorial coming up this year.
And also in October, the UARA National Series will return to right here, South Alabama Speedway, for the second annual Frankie Grill Memorial 112. So going to be a great year with the UARA National Tour.
And that one's on my schedule. I'm going to be here for that one. I missed it last year. I had a schedule conflict and wasn't able to make the trip up, but it is on the schedule. I will see you guys again here later in the year, making another trip back up here to South Alabama. Ready to go back to green. Sean Senekosoff bringing the field back to Sunbelt Rentals restart zone. And the green is back out. Senekosoff, not the start he was looking for on the bottom. There goes Salter to the outside, looking to try to take the race lead.
Big run up the outside of the racetrack for Chris Salter, trying to take the race lead away from Senekosoff. He'll do so down in turn number 3 as they're stacked up behind him. All the BMR cars trying to get to the front. They're beating and banging back behind them, but it's going to be Salter out in front of Senekosoff. He's going to maybe bring little brother Adam along with him as we got major trouble into the inside wall. That's the 45. That's the Justin Cruz car, driver out of Deatsville, Alabama. And he is, unfortunately, found the inside wall, but fortunate for him, he's able to drive away. A little bit of trivia here for you, Jake. You know what the alternate name of Deatsville, Alabama is?
Lay it on me, brother.
It is Slap Out, Alabama, because it is slap out in the middle of nowhere.
That sounds about right. So they're going to have to clean things up a little bit down there in turn number 1. I believe kicked up a little dirt and dust onto the speedway. So they'll go again to the attention of Cruz. Looks like everything's good to go. All 4 tires are up on that 45 machine. So back out onto the track, and they'll just kind of do a quick little check over down there in turns 1 and 2. Actually, looks like everything's pretty good. I didn't think it was not as bad as I thought it was originally. Let's take a look at the replay here. Ooh, that could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, the 12 and the 5, the 2 team cars, Musgrove and Prather got together, and unfortunately for Justin Cruz, just wrong place, wrong time, with nowhere to go. But yeah, it could have been way worse. It was a 1-car incident. It could have been 3 or 4 or 5 really easily.
Something I just want to touch on here as we get ready to go and talking about, we'll watch the replay again here. Watch him bounce off him right there. Bam. And amazing that everybody else is able to get by there, as big of a stack up as that was early on in the field. Something I love about these Crown Vics, especially when you get a big field like this, you know the sound of a super late model. You know the sound of a pro late model when they fire off in a restart. But listen to these Crown Vics when they rumble off on one of these restarts. They're almost in like perfect unison as they rumble down the straightaway. It's one of those kind of weird sounds that I've started to kind of pick up on, especially on these bigger fields instead of, you know, like a 12 or 15 car field. When you put 30 of them out there at once, just the wall of sound that you hear as they come to life and head down into turn number 1.
Maybe we'll do a little old school Fox NASCAR coverage. We'll do a little crank it up session here.
Like my buddy Larry Mack would like to do every now and again.
We'll lay out maybe on this restart, use our ultra broadcasting cameras and speed shots to kind of bring you the action here in just a moment. But a little bit of housekeeping under this caution real quick. My 50-50 girl here at South Alabama Speedway, McKenna, she's went up and down the grandstands all night long. She sold some tickets.
I bet you it's a pretty good amount tonight. There's a lot of people in the grandstands.
How much are we giving away tonight, McKenna? You know? How much are we giving away tonight? $230, man, right here.
That's some serious Waffle House money right there.
Absolutely. And I'm going to reach in here and pick out a number, and I'm looking for ticket number. I get my flashlight out. 688-9835. If you are in the grandstands with ticket number 688-9835, make your way up to the booth here, and we will get you your money. Ticket number 688-9835. One more time, 688-9835. We'll give you a couple of minutes to make your way up here. If not, next caution, Jake, we'll pull another one out of the bucket and send somebody home with some money.
You know what that $230 could get you? That could get you 57 steak biscuits tomorrow morning from the Hardee's truck for breakfast.
Did you just do math in your head here late at night, or is that a guess?
No, I'm cheating. I got a calculator. I was told there'd be no math, Ryan.
That's why I teach English at the high school level.
Good.
I went in to determine what route I wanted to take in my college education, and they say, well, if you go this way, you have to have like 6 math classes. If you go this way, you have to have 1. I immediately sprinted down to that office and say, hey, I want to teach English language arts and literature so I don't have to do any more math.
I'm an embarrassment to my math teachers on a daily basis, but the one that I always have to tell is never thought when I was in high school that my biology teacher and my biology class would be the class that I would then translate into my future and into my career. And when I see my biology teacher, who was our basketball coach, I tell him that all the time, and his response is, oh, God.
Well, every time my mom was a 35-year teacher and educator just up the road here in Elba, Alabama. And when I told her when I was in college at Troy University, I was like, hey, Mom, I think I want to be a teacher. She looked at me and she said, Ryan, I couldn't get you to go to school back when you were in school. Now you want to do that for the rest of your life? But it's something that I enjoy able to teach and coach a little ball on the side. But I really like the availability during the summer. I get to go to short tracks all over the country and talk race cars with people that'll talk with me.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have there, and being able to get out and travel. And big thank you to you and to all the teachers and all the educators out there that are forming the minds of our youth. And a lot of youngsters here tonight, a lot of young race fans taking in perhaps what is their first Rattler weekend, or maybe this has become a tradition now for their families to be here and be a part of this weekend. Trying to do a little bit of cleanup as there looks like a little bit more dirt and dust down there in turn 1 and 2 than we originally thought. And kind of checking a couple of other spots around the track makes me wonder maybe if somebody wasn't maybe putting down a little bit of fluid around South Alabama Speedway. So that's why we've got the little bit of a lengthy caution here, working caution on lap number 8 with 32 laps to go. Chris Salter had just taken over the race lead from Sean Senecosoff. And when Senecosoff goes back, when he goes back to green here shortly, he is going to have his hands full. He's going to have Chris Salter, Adam Salter, and he's also going to have Brian Musgrove up there as well. So I believe a lot of those team cars are going to be up there battling here in this next restart. Looks like Shelby Prather is going to be up there as well.
Senecosoff sitting there looking out the windshield and
where are my friends at?
He's surrounded by a bunch of BMR house cars. And how about a shout out to the safety crew here at South Alabama Speedway? They're the guys putting in all the work. We're just sitting up here in the air conditioning talking about cars going in circles. I sure don't want to have to grab a push broom at any point this weekend.
It's a rough life, Ryan, but somebody's got to do it.
That's right.
It's a job for us getting us all the shots down in pit road and getting us all our victory lane interviews tonight. Those guys are working and hustling, doing a great job.
All right, well, I think right now, Jake, would be a great time for us to take a little break here on Ultra Broadcasting. They've put the kitty litter out, so it's going to be a little bit of a cleanup. Not a big one, but a great time here to pay a few bills here on Ultra Broadcasting. We'll be back. 32 laps to go in our Crown Vic feature here at South Alabama Speedway on Ultra Broadcasting.
You're not just any do-it-yourselfer. You use inspiration to bring projects to life. And just when a project seems too large, you head to your local Sunbelt Rentals. There, you'll find the latest in tools and equipment to make your next job your easiest project ever. Plus, they even deliver to your job site. Sunbelt Rentals, taking DIY projects to an all-new level.
Tax season giving you headaches? Meet SRQ Taxes, your tax pros in Sarasota ready to make taxes simple. Whether you're filing personal returns or business taxes, SRQ Taxes handles it with accuracy, speed, and care. Trusted by locals in Sarasota, these experts help save time and money. No stress, no guesswork. We can file taxes from anywhere and every state via a secure portal. Ready to take control of your taxes? Visit srqtaxes.com to book your appointment today. SRQ Taxes. Navigate your tax journey with confidence.
Blackburn's Barbecue, located at 169 5th Street in Eagle Lake, Florida, where we bring that old school Florida charm and southern hospitality to every plate. We're open Wednesday through Saturday, 11 to 8, and proud to be known as Central Florida's #1 barbecue spot. So if you're craving some crispy wings, juicy brisket, or ribs so tender you can take your teeth out, we make and serve fresh, flavorful meats and homemade sides every day.
Super Late Models return to Citrus County Speedway Saturday, April 11th with a full throttle 125. See the UARA National Super Late Models as they take on the tight layout at Citrus County for big money to win. UARA Pure Stocks will also be in action, along with the Crazy Crown Vics and more. It's all Saturday, April 11th. For more info, go to uararacing.com.
Welcome back to the coverage of the 50th Rattler 250 here on Ultra Broadcasting. Ryan McCullough and Jake Wilson up top. Chase Folsom down on pit road, bringing you all the updates and information from the infield. We are just 8 laps into our Crown Vic feature. Been a topsy-turvy, wonky start here. A lot of contact, a lot of incidents so far. It's been Sean Sinakosoff out front for most of the event, but he was just lost the lead prior to that last caution coming out to Chris Salter. Jake, when we got just a moment before we go back green, Friday of Rattler weekend, the big show tomorrow, UARA Sportsman for 75 laps, and then the granddad, the one everybody came for, the 50th Rattler 250, 250 laps of UARA National Super Late Models.
It's going to be a big day here at South Alabama Speedway tomorrow. You're going to have two qualifying sessions. The one for the Super Late Models, very important as to making sure that the drivers get locked in, because for some drivers, if they're not in that 24, top 24, the only chance you're going to get to have is a 25-lap last chance race to try to race your way in. And if you're not one of those top 4 finishers, your weekend is over. Your night is done. And you're going to have to sit back and watch just like the rest of the fans in the grandstand. And for the UARA Sportsman Series, this will be the 3rd year in a row competing here at Rattler Weekend. And we have a record number of cars for the UARA Sportsman Series, with 25 of them on property here for tomorrow.
The only driver on the property guaranteed a starting position in tomorrow's Rattler 250 is Michael Atwell, the defending winner. He has a provisional for the most recent winner of the Rattler 250. He's the only guy that can sleep 100% soundly tonight. Well, maybe that and Chris Salter, if he's able to lead the next 32 laps in this Crown Vic feature.
Back underway, green flag is out, and where have I said this before? We're 3 wide as they head down into turns 1 and 2. Everybody a chance to kind of catch their breath again. We'll see just how aggressive they choose to be up here at the front of the field. And right now, Chris Salter, excuse me, showing the way. Here comes Chris Salter trying to get to the inside of Sinakosoff to grab that second spot away, and he does so as Sinakosoff drifts back to 3rd.
This is something that the fans at South Alabama Speedway see a lot of Saturday nights here. A little family reunion up at the front of the field between the Salters, trying to figure out who's going to have bragging rights over Sunday lunch on most Saturday nights. It'll be Saturday brunch maybe. Who's going to have bragging rights, Chris Salter or Adam Salter? Back behind it, they've still got a lot of trying to settle it out as we started the race with 34 cars. We had some late entries, 32 still on the racetrack, and 30 still on the lead lap.
It's not quite a parking lot, but there's still 2x2 in several parts of the field. Don't count out Cody Benoit, who's running in that 4th position. Look at this gaggle of car back behind them, though. You see the 57 machine. Jimmy Frazier started all the way at the tail end of the field and has worked his way up through the field.
Something's on fire on that 57 machine of Jimmy Frazier. Watch when he comes by right here. There is definite flame in the rear end, especially the right rear of the car of Jimmy Frazier.
Yeah, so the 57 car, we'll have to keep an eye on that. We'll see if race officials deem that is worthy of throwing a yellow, or if they're going to just issue a black flag to Frazier. There's Keith Zabel on the inside making a little bit of contact as they come out of turn number 4. Oh, yeah, big-time problems on the right rear of that 57 machine. That's got to be a bit of a wild ride right now for Frazier.
Can't really tell what it is that's on fire or a flame in the right rear of that 57. He's falling back now from the outside. I do not see our flagman Drew Chance reaching for the black flag, but now we got big trouble up behind it, up on the top of the banking. The 86 car goes around. That's going to be Dustin Hunt. A couple of more have spun up there at the top of turn number 3.
Man, that 86 went for quite the wild ride there as he went all the way up the racetrack to avoid the spinning car, and then himself lost it, went all the way down, had that thing pointed straight towards the inside wall, but was able to, grab a handful of steering wheel, get it turned, and able to keep it off the inside wall. That could have been ugly over there in 3 and 4.
Getting some reports from trackside and other sources, and maybe a brake drum or brake rotor that has come into full glow on the right rear of that 57 of Jimmy Frazier.
So Jimmy Frazier going to be a part of and we'll watch the replay again here. You see the 57 kind of working his way through the corner, and you see this right rear. Look at all that fire. Look at the flames kind of pouring out of the back there. Frazier going to be a part of our UARA Sportsman 75 tomorrow. Won our season opener, the Frostbite 100 at Citrus County Speedway. Check the replay once again. Here's what happened down in turns 3 and 4. There you see the contact and the huge stack up as the rest of the field, everybody going high, going low, doing everything they can to try to avoid that. But it's the 86 that went for what I thought was a wild ride there. That's Dustin Hunt, but able to live and fight another day, as we've got a working yellow once again here on lap number 13. Not even halfway home in this one still, Ryan. Still a long way to go.
You mentioned earlier that long runs in Crown Vic racing, when you get 30 cars on the racetrack, are not 20, 30, 40 laps. They're 7, 8, maybe 9 laps is a long run here. It's been that way. It's been stop start so far in this race. Do we know, outside of maybe the Salters out front, do we know really who could be competitive tonight yet?
I'm keeping an eye on that 4th place car, Cody Benoit. Comes in as the points leader for the UARA Crown Vic Series. Got the win at Citrus, along with Frazier got the win in the Sportsman race that night. Benoit comes in with a lot of momentum. He was the winner at Auburndale Speedway during the Hyatt Memorial weekend as well, so coming off of a win there. And Cody will take that car like so many of the Crown Vic drivers. They'll run it on asphalt. They'll run it on dirt. Sometimes they'll run it on both in a single weekend.
We've had drivers here at South Alabama Speedway. They'll have run the same car on asphalt and dirt in the same night. We'll have there's a dirt track down the road in Cottonwood in Dothan, Alabama. They'll run their feature first. We'll run our feature last, and they'll do dirt and asphalt on the same night.
I'm kind of curious. I'd like to see that replay one more time if we can. You saw the maneuvers that Dustin Hunt had to make. Let's watch the replay once again here. It's like 3 guys trying to occupy the same space, and then the 86 just kind of comes in here on the top, and what a wild ride. I mean, he had that thing pointed straight towards the inside wall and was able to somehow avoid everything.
It's that real estate conversation we've had a couple of times tonight. Normally it's 2 guys, but that was 3. That was 3, maybe 4 guys going for the same piece up in turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it sometimes in plate racing where they don't pay attention. The next thing you know, they're 4 or 5 wide before they realize it. But that's pretty common here on these restarts with the UARA Crown Vics. You got all these cars bunched up nose to tail. But if you think about it, if one guy makes a mistake, you have the opportunity on the restart, depending on where that mistake is made, you could easily grab 3, 4, 5 positions in a single corner just because of how much momentum you can lose in these cars.
Still have over 25 cars on the lead lap here with just 13 laps complete in our UARA Crown Vic event. Just amazing to see those guys when they, on that shot from turn number 3, looking down the back straightaway here at South Alabama Speedway, just a wad. That's the only word I could come up with to describe it. A wad of race cars roaring down that back straightaway into turn number 3.
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent. It looks eerily similar to the South Alabama Speedway parking lot earlier today, just the way that they were able to fan out like that. How much fun. I've got some buddies back home. They watch this stuff every week, and they're kind of like, you know what? I've never raced before, but I watch those Crown Vic guys, and I think I'm getting that itch a little bit. It makes you, it's like if you can get you and maybe 1 or 2 other buddies to go together on the car, maybe you drive it one week, I'll drive it the next. Next thing you know, you're like the Salters there, and you got a whole team, and you got 5 of them. That's what it's all about.
Go to your local police salvage yard. They probably got some Crown Vics sitting around somewhere.
Listen, I will say the price has gone up a little bit in Bradenton, Florida, because of a certain racetrack owner and promoter down there who's kind of had a knack for buying Crown Vics over the last few years. Well, we got trouble. That's Tyler Landis, the K29. He's gotten down into the infield barrier there. I'm not sure what happened to Landis, but he was running up near the front of the field. If something broke or maybe he had contact while they were kind of scrubbing their tires and getting ready to go back at it, but Landis gets it refired, and see if he maybe wants to have a little bit of a conversation or two with a driver that maybe might have made a little bit of an error there, or maybe he thinks they made a little bit of an error. We've already seen water bottles thrown tonight.
I almost saw water barrels right there from Tyler Landis. We had a flat tire on the pace car earlier. Been one of those nights here at South Alabama Speedway.
I think everything might be okay because I didn't see any American Sign Language used there out of the K29, so it looks like he's just going to kind of settle back into his spot. And we are going to get the one-to-go signal. Lights are out on the South Alabama Speedway pace car.
Just want to take the opportunity. You mentioned that Crown Vic prices have gone up in Bradenton, Florida because of a certain guy. Just wanted to be known here on Ultra Broadcasting. That certain guy, he has an open invitation to come race Crown Vics or whatever he might want up in the Deep South at South Alabama Speedway.
Well, he may or may not have purchased or been in the process of purchasing another type of race car that might be back here racing, say, is around August sound good to you?
Sounds wonderful. Let's do it. Cleet, you're welcome anytime you want to come race at South Alabama Speedway. Crown Vic still ready to go with 27 laps to go.
Keep an eye. Oh, contact. The Salters get together. Cody Benoit went up the racetrack. We got parts and pieces flying all over the place. We got cars spinning. It is calamity down in turns 1 and 2.
The car that went around was the 12 of Shelby Prather, but that started at the front of the field. The Salter brothers, I think, took the whole field too deep into turn number 1, and everybody started to check up and get it pointed in the direction they needed to go, and it was just too little too late, for the 12 of Shelby Prather. Large
Piece of debris right up in that second groove. It looks like everybody going to try to stay underneath it. And we'll try to get, looks like we've got the team safety buggy out there to snatch that piece of, I believe that's going to be off a quarter panel probably. That was a mess. And it looks like we've got a couple of other drivers that are coming down, and unfortunately, I just heard a word come over the race director's radio that I don't particularly care for, and I don't believe the drivers will as well. There are concerns that there may be some oil.
Well, that would explain why the whole front of the field missed their entry to turn number 1. You don't see that very often. I think last time I saw it was maybe at the Roval a few years ago when the whole like four or five rows missed it.
Was it Charlotte? I think it was the 2001 Charlotte All-Star race when it just started pouring down rain in the entire field. Or Daytona a few years ago where they didn't quite get the signal out that it was raining in one part of the track. And
well, if one car misses their line, okay. If two, okay. But now when the whole front half doesn't miss their line up in turn one, something's going on down there.
Yes, they're Crown Vics, but I seriously doubt you'll have 15 drivers lose talent all at once. And let's take an idea and take a look at what happened here, and you see it. Cars just kind of slipping and sliding all over the place.
It looks like me trying to play like NASCAR 25 or iRacing, but it normally winds up like Mario Kart more often than not.
Yeah. That's a little bit more my speed nowadays. I've kind of lost my touch with the sticks there. But again, I'm going to give these drivers some credit because there have been some incidents tonight that could have been way worse. And the drivers have done a very good job at avoiding some of these accidents and limiting them to one or two car incidents rather than wadding up multiple cars. Because think about some of my Central Florida guys here. That's a long haul to come up here as we get ready to take a look at the replay once again here.
Yeah, the 94 of Chris Salter out of shape the moment he got to turn one, and then it was just Katie bar the door and everybody trying to hang on behind him.
Yeah, you don't want to make that 6, 7, 8 hour drive and come up here and just completely destroy your race car. And a lot of these guys coming in on open trailers, you don't want your race car looking all tore up on the way back home. And as it looks like everybody getting ready to kind of stack up here and getting everybody to kind of double up. And
lights are off.
Yeah, it looks like we're ready to go back. 13 laps completed, 27 to go.
Trying to get into a rhythm here, but it's hard to do that with 30 race cars on a track at the same time, especially Crown Vic race cars.
Back to green, fanning out. Down into one they go, much better this time. Looks like everybody going to navigate turns 1 and 2 relatively cleanly. And it's going to be the 94 of Chris Salter out in front. Senna Kosoff now to the outside, trying to get that second spot away. It's going to be Cody Benoit moving up, and here comes Bobby Mobley. Mobley on the move up to third.
You mentioned Benoit is a guy to keep an eye on. He's moved himself into second, brought Bobby Mobley along with him. Shelby Prather.
The hood's up.
The hood flew up on the 12 car of Shelby Prather. He's been in a couple of incidents tonight. He's going to creep that machine into the pit lane slowly and surely. No caution going to wave, but Shelby Prather was up inside the top 5 before the hood has derailed his night.
40-cent hood pin causing a rough go here tonight, but we continue on and we stay green. Salter pulling away. Here goes Mobley. Mobley was the runner-up in our first UARA Crown Vic race to Benoit. As you see, Senna Kosoff dirt tracking it through turns 1 and 2 that time. Points battle between Mobley and Benoit as they swap second and third as Mobley is on the move.
Mobley finished runner-up in this event last year to Adam Salter, Chris's brother, and it was a long night in the tech shed. A couple of verbal spars and jabs tossed back and forth as one car was tore all the way down. Another was almost torn all the way down in the tech shed after the race, and it may be part 2 between the Salters and the Mobleys, this time on the racetrack, not in the tech shed.
We'll shape it up to be a good one here as we're just 2 laps away from halfway, 18 laps being shown on the board. They'll come by this next time. That'll be 21 laps remaining, just 1 lap shy of the halfway point as Chris Salter has put himself at the front of the field with a 1.2 second advantage over Bobby Mobley. We'll see how that gap increases or decreases as starting to settle in. A little bit of a run here. Field getting spread out. 1.2 seconds last time. This time it holds 1.2 seconds. Both drivers running very, very similar lap times, almost identical. So 2 very fast cars up here at the front of the field with Cody Benoit holding down that 3rd position with Justin Roos and Sean Senna Kosoff rounding out the top 5.
Won't be long until Chris Salter is going to find himself on the back of the field. First car he's going to find is right there, the 15. That's Harvell, who had issues earlier. He makes quick work of him. But then it'll be Justin Gray, Blake Blackman, and Joey Clark on the horizon for our race leader. And if we stay green here, Jake, Salter's going to be in lap traffic for pretty much the next 10 or 15 laps at least.
Yeah, we just got long enough of a run now where lap traffic is going to start to become a factor, able to get through the first 2 or 3 lap cars with no issues. Mobley's going to kind of catch him at a bad time where they get doubled up as we keep looking at some of the progress of some of our drivers kind of coming up through the field. There you see lap car going way up the hill there in turn number 4 as our leaders go by. Able to stay clean and green there. You see the number 6 machine working his way up through the field. Adam Salter, along with the 15 of Keith Zavrel, Roger Blevins in the 1B, another Central Florida standout. Trying to get their way up into the top 5, trying to become a factor in this thing. I mean, this is a stacked field of Crown Vics. I mean, you take the talent from our Central Florida area that I'm used to covering and mix it in with all the great racers you guys have up in this part of the country, and that's exactly what you get here. And that's what Ricky Brooks and the folks at URA were hoping when they wanted to put together this Crown Vic series.
See the K29 there on our screen before we cut to our race leader. That's Landis, who was spun out under caution earlier, and then is now trying to make his way back up through the field. He currently runs in the 13th position. But here you see on our ultra broadcasting screen the 94 of Salter. He's went up past the 47 of Clark. That's up to the 23rd position. It'll be Harris and Chadwick and Fuller next up in front of him. What he does not want to see is those lap cars get double wide or 2 or 3 wide in front of him. And also, as we see right there, cars getting loose and out of control, maybe spinning right in front of him as he tries to make his way through the pack of slower cars.
Yeah, Bobby Mobley lost a little bit of time that last lap as he was working by some lap traffic, but now he's clear. Now it's going to be Salter that has the lap traffic to deal with, and they're 2 wide in front of him, so they're blocking the racetrack a little bit as Salter's going to go down to the bottom, make it 3 wide here coming by the front straightaway. Try to put those cars a lap down. Here's where Mobley could try to make up some serious ground. They're running very similar lap times, but it's just all about when and where you're catching that lap traffic. That's kind of determining what the difference between first and second is right now.
Now back behind them, we see the 45 of Justin Cruz making his way up. He was in the inside wall early on in this race, one of the numerous cautions that we had. He works to the outside of the 32 machine there of Logan Buttram. The 15 car there, that's Keith Zavrel. Good little racing all around the racetrack. Everybody kind of stacked up as we're going to come back to 10 laps to go. It's not over yet. The 94 of Salter are going to have a heavy lap traffic, about 10 or 15 cars in front of him.
Yeah, if you're Bobby Mobley, you want to try to reel him in as much as you can here in these next few laps while you don't have any lap traffic to deal with, because Salter's going to catch it first. It's going to be probably about 3, at least 1 car to begin with where he may not have issues, but then after that, you got 3 cars that are racing each other pretty hard. That's where Salter could struggle. That's where Mobley's got to try to make up the ground, but he's starting to run out of time as we're coming to the line this time. 32 complete, it'll be 8 to go.
Another thing that Salter has to remember is as he laps cars, yeah, they're not as fast as you, but they're faster than the car you just lapped. So it's not going to be as easy to put those cars a lap down or to get by them, but he has had no problem so far. He's just a hair quicker each lap than Bobby Mobley. The only chance I think Mobley has is for some type of lap car stack up that makes Salter have to get out of the gas pretty heavy.
Oh, there's a pretty big stack up going on in turns 3 and 4. You see on your screen there, all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, all the way up to the top of the track. Everybody just looking for an opening, looking for a way to get around. Slow car up on the top of the speedway. See if that car is going to make it back to the pit area, and is not. Multiple cars having issues up there in turns number 1 and 2, it looks like, and we are under yellow, and we are setting up for one heck of a finish here. It looks like we're going to have about 7 laps to go when we get this thing restarted.
Car coming to a rest at the top of turn number 2. It's the 3, but we have a couple of 3 cars in this race tonight, so not quite sure who that one might be. It's up at the top of turn number 2. Trying to look at our scoring monitor, but I see a 3 on the side of the race car, Jake, and I know it's not Chris Rommel. but I don't see another 3 on our scoring monitor here.
Yeah, that's just a tough break up there in the top of turns 1 and 2, and just unable to make it back into the pit area. And they're checking things out over there off the racetrack. I don't think yeah, they're just checking around at the top of the racetrack, making sure everything is cleared off and good to go. I don't think we lost anybody off the racetrack. I don't think we did.
7 to go here when we come back to green, Jake. 7 to go here when we come back racing. That was the longest green flag run we've had all night. That was right about 15 laps or so. And we saw as we were able to continue on that Salter got the lead and was able to hold off Mobley, kind of catching or evening up on lap times.
I'll go ahead and bet you a hearty steak biscuit tomorrow morning that this probably isn't our last restart.
One of those breed caution type things that you spoke into existence a little bit earlier on.
Yep. Yeah. No, this to me has okay. There's 7 to go. We had a nice long green flag run. I'm going to get whatever I can get on this restart, and I'm not going to be very patient. I'm not going to give very much. I'm going to take here in these final 7 laps as the field is being told to double up. And we're getting ready to go back to green. This one's going to be a pretty quick yellow. Looks like lights are out on the South Alabama Speedway Dodge Charger pace car. Can Chris Salter bring it home and take home the victory on Rattler weekend? Could Bobby Mobley? Could Cody Benoit? Could somebody else factor into this one? We're going to find out. 7 laps to go to settle it in UARA Crown Vic Racing as they enter the Sunbelt Rentals restart zone. And Bobby Mobley, pretty good start on the outside, out in front by half a car length. But here comes Salter trying to retake the lead.
Good run off of turn number 2 will give Salter the lead by a nose, but Mobley going to hang tough on the outside of the racetrack. Can't get the car to turn, does Mobley. Salter going to lead it with 6 to go.
Salter able to get back out in front. Bobby Mobley going to try to mount a charge once again. Cody Benoit follows in behind him. Sean Senekosov looking to secure the 4th spot. Looked like they might go 3 wide there for just a moment. They stick in double file formation for the time being. 5 laps to go for Salter, and there is some good racing going on. 5th on back.
Mobley not going to give up, and he just ran his fastest lap of the day, did Bobby Mobley. The only problem, it was 2/10 slower than what Salter just ran. So Salter trying to drive away. He's putting out 3 car lengths in between himself and Bobby Mobley. Cody Benoit goes 3rd, Senekosov 4th. Adam Salter on the comeback trail. He's up to 5th, looking under Senekosov for another position.
Everybody trying to grab their, get kind of settled in here for this last little bit of the run here, coming to 37 laps completed. Got a car off the pace on the back stretch. I believe that might be one of the Salter cars, or I believe that might be Musgrove in the 5.
Tough run for Musgrove. He was up inside the top 5 for most of this race.
Coming to 2 remaining. It's a 0.6 of a second lead last time by for Chris Salter. Here with 2 laps remaining. It has grown, and he's looking to pull away. One final charge here from Bobby Mobley with a lap and a half to go.
Lap and a half to go down the back straightaway. It's now 5 car lengths. The advantage for Chris Salter. 1 car way slow, way high on the racetrack, but not able to find its way to pit road. White flag is in the air. Chris Salter has 5 car lengths in his back pocket over Bobby Mobley. One more trip around.
Chris Salter looking to become a winner once again here at South Alabama Speedway and trying to get it done here on Rattler weekend in dominating fashion. Your winner, the UARA Crown Vic 40-lapper, the 94 of Chris Salter. Bobby Mobley going to go home in 2nd. Good battle for 3rd as Cody Benoit will take 3rd. 4th is going to go to Adam Salter, and Sean Senekosov will round out the top 5 here tonight as the rest of the field comes by. And Ryan, I owe you a biscuit in the morning.
We made it the whole way right there. That was so we ran the last 25 or so laps with 1 caution flag after we had about 7 in the first 15 laps of tonight's Crown Vic race.
Just had to get them warmed up a little bit.
That's right. That's right. Congratulations to the 94 of Chris Salter. You see the Crown Vics making their way to their initial little tech check up in turn number 4 before they make their way to Mitchell Automotive Group Victory Lane. When Chris Salter gets there, Chase Folsom will be awaiting our winner.
Wonder what the officials, they all got flashlights out, and they're all looking there in the driver's compartment and looking on the left side. Might be looking for...
I just think the guy out the window right here probably knows what they're looking for here. Transponders.
No, he wants a reminder to everybody,
okay.
Turn your transponders back in. No.
So they should have transponders on the car.
Yeah, we're cheating up the transponders nowadays. Anyway, we need everybody to turn your transponders back into the UARA trailer, both for the pro late models and all the Crown Vic drivers. We want everybody to please be patient with each other while they're trying to get out of the pit area. There's going to be a lot of traffic on there down in the infield there as we get ready to exit the speedway here tonight. Let's get ready to send it down trackside once again to Chase Folsom, who's done a great job for us here tonight. He's going to check in with our Crown Vic winner for the UARA Crown Vic Series, Chris Salter.
He's already got the helmet off, and he gets ready to climb out of the car in Mitchell Automotive Group Victory Lane. A UARA Crown Vic winner on Rattler weekend, Chris Salter. Once we finally got this thing going, you were the man to beat, and nobody could get up there and touch you. Why was this thing so good tonight?
We just unloaded good today. Just Adam was a little off, and we was a little better. Just a little luck today.
Are you excited to hang out with a rattlesnake?
No, I don't do rattlesnakes.
Well, you're about to.
No, not me.
Chris Salter doesn't want to meet the rattlesnake, but he does go to Victory Lane on Baby Rattler night at South Alabama. Get over to second place, Bobby Mobley here. See if I can find him. Bobby Mobley, second, one spot short of a win on Baby Rattler night here at South Alabama. What more do you need to get up there and get to Chris?
They just got a lot of speed here, so we got to do our homework. We'll come back, run with them again.
Bobby Mobley, second on the podium tonight at Baby Rattler night. Cody Benoit picks up a podium here at South Alabama Speedway. Looked like you were hanging on there at the end for third. Just didn't have as much as those two in front of you. What more do you need to get up there and compete for the win?
Right front would have helped, but it shredded the tread. We've been doing this for 8 days with my family. We went to North Carolina last weekend, sold my good car, drove this car. I'm here because of these babies, my wife, ANC Property Maintenance, Twate Excavating, FBR Firearms, just everybody who makes this possible. Jody Gill, my brother, Austin. We did what we could do with what we had. Thanks for everybody for coming out. Fun.
Cody Benoit picks up a podium at South Alabama Speedway. We've more to talk to. Adam Salter didn't stick around on the front stretch, but Sean Senikosoff did. You pick up a top 5 tonight with the UARA Crown Vics. Looked like you had some fun out there. How was it?
Yeah, I had a little bit of fun. My first trip up here to Alabama. I'm a little Florida boy, but these guys are fun to race with up here. They're pretty clean. Some of these guys I normally race with, they're a little rough, but it's fun. I got to thank Keith and Vicky Zavril, Power Logging, Builder Source, and everybody else that comes and helps.
Sean Senikosoff rounds out your top 5 with the Crown Vics on a night that Chris Salter picked up the Crown Vic win. Brad Bowman won the modified feature. And Jake Finch, his 3rd consecutive pro late model Baby Rattler 125. Guys, it was a great night of action. We're going to have a whole lot more tomorrow for the Rattler 250.
Thank you, Chase. You did a great job down there tonight. We will see you tomorrow for Saturday's Rattler 250. Jake, we have 3 features tonight. We're now 2/3 of the way done with Rattler weekend. Your thoughts on the night as a whole? Brad Bowman, your modified winner. Jake Finch wins the pro late model portion, and Chris Salter with the Crown Vic. Just your thoughts on Baby Rattler night here at South Alabama Speedway.
We got to witness history. We got to see the first ever 3-time winner of the Baby Rattler, or three wins in a row, rather, for Jake Finch, and joined some pretty elite company with he and Bubba Pollard as the only drivers to win 3 or more Baby Rattlers, and you thought that was something. Let's double it up. Let's do 250 laps tomorrow. Let's have over 40 of the best super late models in North America here. And let's go and dangle that $50,050.50 check out in front of some of the best super late model drivers in the country, and let's see what happens.
It's going to be a great day tomorrow here at South Alabama Speedway. Just running you quickly through the schedule. UARA Super Late Model Practice will get us started with on-track action. That'll be at 10:30 tomorrow morning. The UARA Sportsman cars will have a practice. They were on track for about 30 minutes earlier today. They'll have one more opportunity to dial their car in before tomorrow's race. We're going to go qualifying at 2:30 for UARA Supers. The Sportsman cars will follow their qualifying session, and then that ultra-important super late model last chance race. Only 24 cars will lock in via qualifying. Everybody else, about 16 or 17 more race cars, are going to have to go to that 25-lap last chance race where only 4 cars advance. We're going to have the autograph session, the meet and greet, and then we're going to throw the green flag for the 50th Hardee's Rattler 250 at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. The UAR Sportsman cars will be in action a little bit later. Jake, it's going to be a great one tomorrow.
I see on that schedule the grandstands open at 1 o'clock. Maybe get here a little earlier than that. Get yourself a good spot. Get yourself a good seat. Maybe fire up the grill out in the parking lot like a lot of people have done all weekend long. Tomorrow is a celebration. Tomorrow is a party. Tomorrow we commemorate 50 years of racing on this historic event and this historic weekend. You're not going to want to miss it, and you are certainly, we saw history made here tonight. We're going to make some more tomorrow afternoon when we crown another Rattler 250 winner. I can't wait to call it with you, brother.
We're going to be back tomorrow for the 50th Rattler 250 here on Ultra Broadcasting. For Chase Folsom and Jake Wilson, I am Ryan McCullough. We'll see you tomorrow for the 50th Hardee's Rattler 250.